Magandang umaga, Malacañang Press Corps. Happy Friday, and welcome to our press briefing today. Before we end this week, we have some very good news to share regarding our health infrastructure. The National Economic Development Authority Board, chaired by our President, Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr., has approved the University of the Philippines, UP-PGH Cancer Center, a public-private partnership project aimed at modernizing the country's health infrastructure on oncology services and cancer care. Napakagandang balita na to. At para ibahagi sa atin ang detalye ng proyektong yan, makakasama natin ngayon ang kalihim ng NEDA, or National Economic and Development Authority, Secretary Arsenio Balisacan. Sir, go ahead.
Thank you. Let me greet everyone, especially our spokesperson, Daphne Paez, and members of the Malacañang Press Corps. Ladies and gentlemen, good morning. Apart from the UP-PGH project that spokesperson Daphne has mentioned, I would like to share with you, and I am pleased to announce, that the NEDA board has, chaired by our President Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr., approved 7 high-impact projects during the third meeting of the NEDA board yesterday. These projects are expected to significantly contribute to achieving our social and economic transformation goal in the medium term. First on the list is what has been mentioned, the approval of the University of the Philippines, Philippine General Hospital, or UP-PGH, Cancer Center for public-private partnership. The NEDA board approved the solicited build, transfer, operate proposal for the Cancer Center, which will offer comprehensive, high-quality, and affordable oncology care services while helping pay for itself over 30 years. The project will upgrade existing PGH capacity of 300 beds plus outpatient care to be integrated in a new dedicated cancer hospital that will modernize UP-PGH's health infrastructure and demonstrate how the country's public health services can be at par with private care in terms of medical quality and support services. To set the record straight, there will be no privatization of PGH services. The government shall own the entire facility, and PGH shall continue to operate as a public hospital. In the coming weeks, our experts in UP-PGH, as the implementing agency, will bear the specific details on the subject to inform the public and interested private partners. This project is the first PPP project approved under the Marcos administration. Once completed, it will be one of the largest cancer centers in Asia in terms of bed capacity. In addition to the NEDA board approval of the UP-PGH Cancer Center solicited project, PPP project, 4 projects proposed to be financed through official development assistance loan financing with a total amount of 117 billion pesos will commence implementation in 2023. The NEDA board also approved an increase in cost of the MRT-3 rehabilitation project by 7.6 billion pesos from 21.9 billion to 29.6 billion pesos. The NEDA board likewise approved the utilization of the JICA loan balance, that is Japan International Cooperation Agency, of 2.12 billion pesos for the CNS ATM, or that is communication, navigation, satellite, air traffic management, maintenance and resiliency enhancement. I now turn to the discussion of these projects. The The NEDA board confirmed the Investment Coordination Committee, or ICC, approval of the new Dumaguete Airport Development Project of the Department of Transportation. Under this project, a new airport facility in Bacong, Negros Oriental will be developed with domestic and international standards for operational safety and efficiency. This project will replace the existing Dumaguete Sibulan Airport due to physical and operational constraints involving the latter. The new Dumaguete Airport shall enhance the province's tourism and trade potential, economic activities, and standard of living. The total project cost amounts to 17 billion pesos, of which 13 billion will be funded through ODA, or Official Development Assistance, from the Korean government through the Export-Import Bank of Korea Economic Development Cooperation Fund. The Philippine government, through the DOTR, will shoulder the remaining amount of about 3.9 billion pesos. The project will be implemented within 7 years. Also approved was the Department of Agriculture's Mindanao Inclusive Agriculture Development Project, or MIDP, which aims to increase agricultural productivity, resiliency, and access to markets and services of organized farmers and fisher folk groups in selected areas. This agriculture development project covers selected ancestral domains in Mindanao from regions 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, and the BARM, or Bang. The project will be pivotal in reducing poverty, unemployment, and food insecurity among indigenous peoples. It will improve the economic situation of the indigenous peoples in Mindanao and further strengthen the capacity of LGUs to implement support programs that address weak market linkages and poor infrastructure in geographically isolated ancestral domains. The project's estimated total cost is 6.6 billion pesos, of which 5.3 billion is to be financed through ODA loan from the World Bank, while the balance of 863 million and 461 million will be shouldered by the Philippine government through the Department of Agriculture and LGUs, respectively. The NEDA board also confirmed the ICC approval of the first phase of the Integrated Flood Resilience and Adaptation project of the Department of Public Works and Highways. The project aims to mitigate flood damage, reduce flood risk, and improve climate resilience in 3 major river basins in the country. The first phase of this flood resilience project will have the following outputs: the improvement of strategic flood risk management planning, the development of flood protection infrastructure in 3 target major river basins, namely Abra, Ranao, and Tagum-Liboganon in Mindanao. And lastly, the strengthening of community-based flood risk management measures. The project, with an estimated cost of 20 billion pesos, is to be financed through an ODA loan from the Asian Development Bank. Further, the NEDA board also approved the request for changes on 2 ongoing projects of the DOTR and the DPWH. The NEDA board confirmed the ICC approval of the DOTR's request for changes in scope, increase in cost, and extension of the implementation period for the Davao Public Transport Modernization Project. The project involves delivering a modern, high-priority bus system for Davao City, wherein interconnected bus services will be prioritized along 29 routes. The implementation period for this project is extended from 2023 to 2029. The NEDA board confirmed the DOTR's request for changes in scope, project cost increase, implementation period extension, additional loan, And second, loan reallocation of the Metro Rail Transit Line 3 or MRT3 rehabilitation project. This project involves upgrading MRT3 to its original as designed state with provision for capacity expansion in the future. All subsystems will be restored, renewed, or upgraded, including the tracks, signaling system, power supply system, overhead catenary system, and communication system, as well as maintenance and station equipment. The project will also involve integrating other MRT3 related projects such as the common station, the Dalian trains, and the transition to a 4-car train configuration. This rehabilitation project aims to enhance the safety and level of service of the MRT3 and to promote its use to help alleviate the worsening traffic congestion in Metro Manila. Lastly, the NEDA board approved the expansion of the scope of the 24 November 2022 NEDA board approval to include the utilization of the 2.12 billion JICA loan or loan balance for the communications, navigations, surveillance, air traffic management system, maintenance and resilience enhancement with the following components: maintenance contracts, ultimate fallback system, and the feasibility study for the independent backup system. The approval includes a 60-month loan validity extension from 2023 to 2028 to cover the preceding intended utilization. This approval shall enable the upgrade of our air transport facilities and improve passenger experience by enhancing the safety, reliability, and efficiency of our air traffic service in Philippine airspace following international standards. In line with the strategies identified under the Philippine Development Plan 2023 to 2028, the approval of these high-impact projects is a manifestation of the Marcos administration's strong commitment to improving the quality of life of the Filipino people. In the next 6 years, we can look forward to seeing more of our agencies and sectors working hand in hand toward creating a prosperous, inclusive, and resilient society. Thank you, and a pleasant day to all.
Thank you, Secretary Balisacan. Are there any questions from the floor? Okay, Eden Santos of Net 25.
Secretary. Good morning po, Secretary Balisacan. Kanina po nabanggit ninyo, nasabi nyo na wala pong privatization sa 7 proyektong ito. Paano po natin ito matitiyak sa ating mga mamamayan? At paano po natin masisiguro na walang mangyayaring pass-on itong mga loans na ito sa ating mga kababayan kapag ka po in-avail na nila yung mga serbisyo nitong mga proyekto na to?
This is a build, transfer, operate project, no? At so doon mismo, the private sector or private partner will build the facility. They will design, they will engineer and construct the facility, then transfer it to the UP-PGH, no? And then the private sector will operate the facility. In the design is strict of the project involves a delineation of what is the ward or basic cancer facility and the private that is for the private pay or for pay facility. So tigwa 150 beds yon, no? And the level of service will be the same for both cases. The only difference there is because the same doctors are attending to both types of patients, no? The advantage doon kasi is instead na yung mga doctors natin ay umaalis sa hospital para lang makapag-private practice, para makapag-earn ng enough dahil, government salary, you know it, right? They don't have to leave the area, no? So they can practice and they can serve our people. So it's the ward. It's really for that part of the facility is for the low income groups.
Sir, FYI lang po, no, I'm a cancer patient survivor. At talaga pong napakamahal po ng magpagamot sa
Yeah.
anumang klase ng cancer. Maganda pong proyekto ito ng ating Pangulo at sana nga ay mapakinabangan ng ating mga kababayan. Pero paano po yung assurance na baka sa mga unang taon lang or ilang taon, okay pa, pero pagdating ng mga susunod na panahon, baka may bayaran, malaki na rin ang bayaran ng ating mga kababayan.
Hindi mangyayari yan kasi may kontrata. It's part of the contract. Na yun masustain as a ward yung one half of the facility. So yung mga earning, those who can afford to pay, mga mayayaman na nag-avail ng service ng PGH, marami yun, they can afford naman to pay, so they pay. And then the part of that money that then can be used to subsidize the those in the ward, and so that the quality of the service can be the same. Yeah.
Just to reiterate, you mentioned, so of the 300 beds, 150 will be for charity, and the other 150 is an option for private,
That's correct.
the private health sector. Okay, next we have Harley Valbuena of DZME.
Hi, good morning, Ms. Daphne and Secretary Balisacan. My question, sir, Secretary, on the UP-PGH Cancer Center, can we have a timeline on the date of the beginning of construction and the target date of its completion and opening to the public?
Now that the project has been approved, it goes now to the next process, which is the offering it to the public now for the bidding process. No? Because it has to be bidded. It is so the potential private partners will come in to present their proposals, and then the selection of the private partner will come out of those proposals, and then implementation na. And then we expect that to happen in the next 5 or so years. Ito kasi matagal din yung completion of a building, especially this type of facility.
Okay, sir. Thank you po. On the other hand po, yung approved increase in the cost of MRT3 RIA project, do you think, sir, this might result to a fair hike to our MRT3 passengers?
The intention here is to improve the capacity, because will increase the number of cars, no? So and reduce the interval time, no? And make the whole system safe, and provide passengers good experience. Now, the system is being prepared also for eventual O&M PPP in the future. But then again, the public consideration, the public interest consideration is always high in the agenda of the government. So hindi mangyayari yan na even if eventually in the future ipipipi natin yung operations and maintenance, because nakita nyo naman, with the public operations and maintenance, the experience not good, and we think that a private sector operating it might give a is likely to give a better experience for passengers as we see it in other countries, where a private sector operates not the construction, because that's not viable for the private sector, but the operation and maintenance. And of course, again, that the contract has to be designed in such a way that we protect the interests of the riding public. Na walang ganong sharp increases in or unjustifiable increases in fare.
Any other questions? Raise your hand. Oh, Ivan Merina of GMA 7.
Sir, just a quick follow-up on the hospital. Is there going to be a separate structure to be built, and where?
Yeah, there is going to be a building within the UP-PGH compound, and it's a 15 to 20-story building, but both the ward and the pay part of the system will be in the same building, so that the doctors can easily move from one area to another. And as you know, it's also in the compound of the UP College of Medicine, right? So it will also be a good training ground for our for students, medical students.
Thank you.
Okay. Any further questions? If there are none, I think we can close this press briefing. Thank you very much, Malacañang Press Corps, and thank you so much, Secretary Balisacan. Have
Thank
a
you.
good weekend, everyone.
Thank you, everyone.
Okay, thank you.